How's everybody doing out there? Come on in. The water's warm. That's a good idea this weekend, guys. Seriously. Pool, splash pad, tubing. Get on the water and get the water in you. Make sure you're hydrating. That reminds me, I gotta check the UV forecast for the weekend. Come on in. All right. Good Friday evening to you, Bill Taylor, Ken's 5 Digital Center. How's everybody feeling? It's Friday night. Hope you had a wonderful day. Blessings to you and yours. What is happening out there this evening? I'm going with an old school Ken's 5 shirt tonight. This was the 2008 Final Four that we hosted. And remember, CBS back in 2008 was the only channel to catch March Madness basketball games. Now they spread it out over all channels, I mean, including TBS and True TV even. I mean, several channels. And we're grateful because when it was all on Ken's 5, we would be here till midnight, sometimes 12:30 before we get that late newscast on, waiting for that final game to end. So we do kind of like it as far as that's concerned. Nice night outside. Taking a look at our live TransGuide cameras. There's 35 at San Marcos. 35 at Olympia. We had 2 accidents back-to-back at 1604 westbound. And if you know, between I-10 and Kyle Seal Parkway, like that stretch at UTSA, it gets backed up every day, right? Now imagine, and that's without an accident, imagine not one, but 2 accidents. So the backup there today, if anybody was stuck in that, oh my goodness, it was really bad. It was really bad. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got afternoon high-wise. Pair of 9s at Floresville, Del Rio, New Braunfels. San Antonio, we were close. We finished at 98. Kerrville got to 96. 103s down I-35. 94, Port Lavaca. Look at Port A. High today, 88. They're in the 80s on the coast. Nice sea breeze. That always helps. Feeling good down there. You've got 95 Rock Springs. Now, our 98, by the way, was above average again, but shy of the record. So we should be stopping at 93, and we were 6 away rather from 2011's record high of 104. So that stays in place yet another year. I wish the news was better on a change in this weather pattern, but look at this. High pressure is still in control. And with this high comes heat. With this high comes no rain. And it just drops anchor. You know, there was a weather guy in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Rob Robin was his name. And he still does weather on the radio there, I think. But he used to call it the high pressure cooker aloft. And that's exactly what this is. Because it cooks everything beneath it. And remember, high pressure gives the atmosphere a sinking air motion, so it's from top to bottom, right? And so a couple things happen there. Actually, let's talk about the 3 things that happen that we've seen. Number 1, heat. If you're compressing that air column, it's got to heat up. Number 2, you have calm winds, right? So during the afternoons and even the early mornings now, we're looking at winds under 10 miles an hour. We're grateful that it's not that the high is loosening up or weakening, but in the evenings, we're still getting a pretty decent little breeze. The third thing this is doing, when you're talking about that sinking air motion, is bringing some of this down to the surface, the Saharan dust. So what happens typically, this is, remember, carried from the continent of Africa across the Atlantic, the Caribbean, into the Gulf and into South Texas. It's a pretty long trek. The only way that happens is in the upper levels, as the upper level winds carry this dust across those bodies of water. Well, when we get to South Texas and high pressure from top to bottom, it's mixing down to the surface. So what happens as a result? We get dust in our lower troposphere and we get poor air quality. So unhealthy for sensitive groups is what we dealt with today. And this becomes important. If you're an allergy sufferer, if you're an asthma sufferer, if you have COPD, all of those conditions are affected by this designation. So I'll show you that it's unhealthy for sensitive groups, which is right in the middle of better and worse, right? Air quality poor, unhealthy. Again, the sensitive groups are going to be asthma sufferers, COPD, even the infants, even the elderly. You want to limit your outdoor activities between 2 and 6. The heat of the day is when you're going to have the most trouble breathing, and you'll have to probably use an inhaler for anything exercise induced, or if you're working, even if you're taking a good walk, if there's any exercise. Avoid high traffic areas where there's car idling, and again, keep that inhaler handy. We could see this again tomorrow. So I just want to alert you of that, because it does look like, let's get back to the Saharan dust forecast, that this does thin out. So as we work our way into Friday night, here's Saturday morning, look at how much farther north that layer really lifts, and then look, it really dissipates by Sunday morning. There's 4 a.m. and it's practically gone. So maybe just a little bit tonight and early tomorrow, but tomorrow afternoon shouldn't be bad. Air quality should improve. Good news. I had this picture on last night at 10. I don't know if y'all saw it. Beautiful shot. 4th green sunset, Northern Hills Golf Course from Andy Vorpal. I love that. And you can see some of the Saharan dust in the air there, or in the skyline, or in the sky, in the horizon, on the horizon. I'll get it. I'll get it at some point. Wind gusts tonight, let's see. Anything? Nah, it's really quiet. Oh, I didn't show you this. The high today of 98. We put it on the June calendar. Above average, obviously, with 17 days. Every day this month has been above average, but not a record. So we've still got 8 records down for the month. That's the exact same we did in May, but we're only halfway through June, so we could definitely get to double-digit record highs before the month ends. But, you know, with the 95 kind of breaking the streak of triple-digit days, and then we went right back to 102 before enough humidity came in today to keep us in the upper 90s. Remember, humidity will always keep us a few degrees cooler. When there's more water in the air, you have more evaporation. More evaporation leads to cooler temperatures. Evaporation is a cooling process. So that's why, one of the reasons why we hit 95 on Wednesday, 98 today, and we squeezed in a dry day. You know, it's always going to be the dew point temperature. So as I show you the current conditions outside, if you look at the dew point of 62, 60 is that threshold. If you can get it to 60 or below, then we're going to hit 102, 103. If you get it 62, 63 in the afternoon, of course, not at this time of night, then it's really going to probably struggle to get out of the upper 90s into a triple digit. You know, it's probably just going to be upper 90s for sure. So with that, I show you the 7-day forecast. Oh, let me show you first, too. Any weekend getaways planned? Not looking too bad. Corpus Christi, high is lower 90s. Fredericksburg's going to be pretty hot. South Padre Island, sea breeze will keep in the upper 80s, maybe a sea breeze shower tomorrow. But other than that, not a drop of rain in the forecast. Hot weekend in the state capital, in case you're heading up to Austin, as I like to call it, the People's Republic of Austin. All right, 7-day forecast time. Show you what we've got. Summer is here on Tuesday. Let's face it, it's been feeling like it for a while now, but it officially begins Tuesday, so it's officially hot on Tuesday. Pair of 100s over the weekend for sure. 101s on Monday, Tuesday, and then it looks like we get up to about 102 by this time next week. But the most important thing we need, a chance of rain, nowhere to be found. All right, it's Friday night. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here. This is brought to you by Starbucks. Our good friends at Pike Place. I don't know if that's an actual destination, Pike Place. Maybe it's a Colorado, I don't know, Pike Place. Who knows? But you know what time it is? It's time to check in with Julie on what's coming up on Eyewitness News at 10. We're checking with Julie on what's coming up on Eyewitness News. I said Eyewitness News. I said hit
That's
that
fine,
camera. Eyewitness News at 10. Oh, we got tambourine. How about that, Julie? See?
David is coming through. David, thank you.
I'm telling you, this is really taking off. off.
Yeah.
What is that?
We got to innovate.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
God.
Julie, that's where this is. I mean, it just keeps climbing.
Yeah, you're
We're going to get a spot. There's going to be a,
touched.
check in with Julie band. And
Nobody's reaching out to you right now, trying to sponsor?
how about the check in with Julie dancers? We just have like a, a dance
Teresa,
crew.
Megan, get out there.
Ray, see? We got one already. Look at that. Ray just signed up. Ray, Aaron, it could be all the directors.
I'm into it. I love it.
Nothing goes like
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. David Lynch on tambourine tonight. What a Friday night treat. That's too cool.
That was perfect.
All right, so what's coming up on Kids 5 News at 10?
Ooh, okay. So tonight, we're talking about the electric Ford.
Electric Ford, that's right.
Yes.
We're test driving the F-150 Lightning tonight.
It's awesome. It's
wanna
really
drive.
nice.
I heard you can't even get one.
No. Very correct.
Have y'all heard about this? So F-150's always been the #1 selling vehicle.
Yep.
And now they're like so popular. EC's was saying she heard like dealerships are only getting 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. But you can test drive them.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But they're affordable. Are we talking prices tonight too?
They should mention prices. Yes,
Okay.
we will.
So that, and then speaking of Lightning,
Oh my gosh, Jeremy Baker. Jeremy Baker tonight, he has a Verify covering, does Lightning strike twice?
in the same place.
Yes.
Because that's an old myth. I will say this, Lightning struck my driveway. Right where my driveway meets my sidewalk. Lightning bolt, bam, one
Wow.
night. I was here, it was like 9:30 at night, and my wife, my kids were young. In fact, she was lying in bed with all 3 of them reading,
Aw.
and the bolt hit, and I mean, she thought a bomb went off. I mean, it was so loud. Rattled all our windows. Every house alarm on the street was going bananas, and we lost our refrigerator. All our TVs and computers were fine. On surge protectors worked, but no fire. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah,
we had
thank
7
God.
trees in the front yard, not one of them hit, because she thought it hit the house. I mean, she smelled smoke, and what had happened was it blew our 220 panel, the outside, panel.
Yeah.
And smoke was coming through the outlets because of that. So she smelled smoke and thought, oh my gosh, and got everybody out of the house. The firefighters came, they checked everything was fine.
And everything
no
was
fire.
fine.
But yet it hit my driveway.
Wow.
And so that current went right up our rebar into the house. And like I said, took out a lot of appliances, our AC units, our, what do you call it? The refrigerator, washer, dry. I mean, a lot of appliances were gone. It was crazy.
Jeez.
We couldn't even live in the house for like 4 days until we got the ACs fixed, and yeah, it was crazy.
Gosh, well, I'm glad everybody's okay.
Yeah, that was years ago. It was like
Gosh.
03 or 4, I think. It was years ago, but it was pretty wild. But can lightning hit the same place twice?
Yes.
All right, so
Can it?
Verify, as you know, is when we talk to the experts and we conclude these often asked questions.
Yes.
I love this segment. It's one of my favorites.
Mine too. Jeremy does a really great job with it, so
Oh, good.
hope
As he
you
does.
tune in.
As he does. Right? We got
Yes.
Matt Houston tonight.
We always got Matt.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's always bringing it.
Don't take me for granted.
There he is. He said, "Don't take me for granted." We do not. We love you, Matt Houston. All right, awesome. Well, that's a good show. That's a Friday night.
Let me tell you, Bill.
That
all right?
deserved tambourine.
It really, David, thank you. Came out of nowhere. I loved it.
You didn't know that was coming.
No.
That was awesome.
He was.
Thank you, Julie. Have a great weekend. All right, and I want you to have a great weekend. God bless you. Have a wonderful Father's Day, dads, and celebrate dads. Have a good one, okay? Enjoy. Oh, wrong button. I want to go to the 7th day. I love you all. You know that. I mean it. Be safe. Be kind. And I will talk to y'all on Eyewitness News at 10. Or Ken's 5 News at 10. I'm not supposed to say Eyewitness anymore. I love y'all. God bless you. See you at 10.